with a collection of 5 top 10 Billboard chart hits from the #1 album. R&B performer Neo has established himself as a powerful force in music. VOA's Larry London recently caught up with the singer, songwriter, and producer.
Turn the lights off in this place.
As a songwriter, Neo has worked with Mary J. Blige, Beyonce, and actor Jamie Foxx. Neo recently released his 3rd album as an artist.
Closer, for example, which was the first single, very much a step to the left of what I normally do, you know what I mean? And it took people a minute to catch on. You know, it took people a minute to get over the initial shock of this not being your typical Neo sounding record.
Telling me that she wants to own.
His current CD, Year of the Gentleman, includes songs about many facets of relationships.
Come closer.
One in particular was inspired by something Neo's mother told him.
My mom had a lot of influence on songs like Mad, for example. That was a tidbit of advice that my mom gave me.
When you make your angry face, that makes me wanna just take off all your and sex you all over the place, yeah.
It was a reoccurring piece of advice too. She said, you never, ever, ever want to let the sun set on an argument. For one, you don't want to start tomorrow with yesterday's drama on your back. That's no way to start the day. And for 2, God forbid something happened and then the last thing you spoke to this person about was some silly argument.
When you put your hands on me.
Dance is an important part of Neo's videos and his live shows. He says there is a list of innovators to whom he and other contemporary artists owe a debt.
Sammy Davis Jr. was a fantastic dancer. I actually wanted to learn how to tap dance, but it takes a little more patience than I have. Huge fan of Michael Jackson. I don't think there's anybody doing R&B today, or for the last 10 years, mind you, that can't say that they weren't inspired by Michael Jackson in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Neo credits legendary entertainers Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. for his sense of fashion.
The thing about those guys is that it wasn't just when they were on stage. Those guys were dressed to the nines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what it meant to be an entertainer back then. You know, it wasn't a facade. It wasn't something you put on, okay, I gotta get on stage, let me get dappered up. No, it was who you were. It was an effortless kind of cool that they had that you just don't see nowadays. You know what I mean? Like I don't know when it became cool to dress like a slob, but I don't get it. I've never understood it, and to this day I don't understand it.
Neo defines what it is to be a gentleman.
One thing that got misconstrued with this album is that people started feeling like, okay, if I put on a suit and a tie, that makes me a gentleman. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? A gentleman is who you are. It's your persona. It's your swag is the word that's used today. It's your charisma. It's your personality, not your clothes.
Neo's taste in clothes has led to a collaboration with Macy's, a national department store.
I don't know where to begin.
As in demand as he is as an artist, songwriter, and fashion consultant, Neo lends his name and his time to support the Ronald McDonald House Charities, an organization that works to benefit seriously ill children. He recently appeared at an event celebrating World Children's Day.
All right, take care, y'all.
Thank you.
Keep smiling. Kids are going through some really, really trying times, and to be able to go over there and just generate some smiles, it was a wonderful feeling. It's beyond words.
It is the year of the gentleman.
Just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
I'm Larry London, VOA News.
Well, joining us now with more about Neo is VOA's Rod Murray from Hip Hop Connection. Hey, Rod Murray.
How's it going?
You know, I was just talking with Vincent and, just saying he's really a very impressive young man. I mean, on top of just really honing his skills, he's a songwriter, he's a singer, and he's a producer. Is that what makes him stand out in this business?
Definitely, definitely. And he also pays a lot of attention to his lyrics and his storylines. So he's appealing to a wide variety of people.
Now, what would you say about, his message? He seems really very grounded. He attributes a lot of his, I guess, personal growth to his mom, saying, no, don't be mad, be a gentleman, etc. How relevant is that really today in terms of, those who are watching him, the youngsters who are trying to learn?
I think it's very relevant. I think he gives something that they don't see on a regular, as he was saying in the piece, that, they dress slobbishly or what have you, and he's trying to bring something a little different, and the message in his music is more of a loving, positive view. So it's something that they don't get but they need.
And he kind of falls into that category, I guess, of a role model. A lot of artists today are under so much pressure to be role models that more than just being a real success in what you do, you kind of have to be an inspiration to others. I guess he's doing that, especially with the Ronald McDonald Children's Charity, where he was just shown a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it seems with Neo, it comes easy to be a role model. It's just he lives his life and he lives a positive one, and I guess that has a lot to do with the influence that he got from his mom and the things that his mom taught him.
And when you just think about how hard it is to survive in the music industry, these days we talk about one song wonders or one album wonders. He's
Right.
on his third one. What do you think it is about him that makes him so successful today?
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he practices his craft and that he has a message that, like, again, a wide variety of people enjoy what Neo has to say and they enjoy his music. I mean, he can go from, singing the hook with a hardcore rapper to writing a song for Whitney Houston or Lionel Richie. So he has a lot of versatility, and as long as he does that, he sticks to that, I think he'll go a long, long way.
And Rod, obviously you play a lot of music on your Hip Hop Connection. He's obviously one of the R&B artists that you'd feature. His message about how he's influenced by the likes of Sammy Davis Jr. and that Michael Jackson was such an influence to so many people still today.
Definitely. When you go back to music and people who have lasted a long time, people still love Sammy Davis Jr. and of course Michael Jackson. And you study what they did and you incorporate that into what you want to do with your life.
Right. Thanks, Rod Murray. Hip Hop Connection. We got to go.